Welcome, everyone, to At the Bar With podcast. Our guest today is a firefighter, EMT, and all of the above. Todd, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's just, I've been watching this for a while, and I'm just tickled to be a part of it.
Yay, Brett. Thank you. Another bald guy. Appreciate it. I'm getting represented here. Yeah.
Bald, 28 years of marriage, bald.
He always brings these guys in that have all this hair, and it's like, yeah. Well, talk about that right now.
Well, you don't have to worry about your hair going up in flames when you're out on a call.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get in my eyes.
Yeah, Patrick, how are you doing out in Cali land?
I'm good. As we're opening the segment, the Artemis spacecraft just safely splashed into whatever ocean it is. But yeah, looks like they got.
I think it was the Indian Ocean. Is that correct?
Pacific.
Oh, it's the Pacific. I thought it was Indian.
They're all the same.
You had a 1 in 4 shot.
If you look, they're trying to open the top hatch right now so they can get out and go. They've been holding up a lot of fart gas.
Yeah. I wonder if they ever got that toilet fixed.
I know.
That's worse than being on a date. And you're like, oh God. So, Todd, I see that you're non-alcoholic and you're drinking your beverage of choice.
Yes.
I believe, Stacy, are you having the huge?
I'll have the huge. The huge would be fine for me.
Huge is always a hams.
I love
in
the
a
hams.
koozie.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to have a little buddy that goes with that?
Absolutely. Wouldn't pass it up.
Yep, a little orange buddy.
Patrick, what are you drinking back there?
I'm doing the Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero tonight.
Wait. Was that what was the one you drank last week? The one that you were like, oh, the cream. Was it cream or no?
That was the cherry Coke float
Oh.
zero sugar. Which
Oh,
still is remaining in the 12-pack. I haven't got to drink it yet.
And then you did make mention the best one was the cherry Pepsi, right?
Yes, the Wild Cherry Pepsi.
The wild
Zero
cherry.
sugar.
Okay. So,
Wild cherry Pepsi. It's good, man. Good. Especially the sugar-free kind.
how about you, Gene? What you drinking back there?
Some wine
Some wine?
and water.
Wine and water. So what's backing what?
What?
What's backing what? You
Well,
drinking
the-
water
the
with a
wine's
wine backer?
backing the water.
The water's back in the wine. Well, let's be honest here. I didn't even open it yet.
Sounds like she just came from church. I'm having wine and
Yeah.
water.
Brett, what's your specialty today?
Well, today I'm going to have, it's been a while. I know that you're having a little orange buddy here from Jameson, but
Thank you.
it's been a while since I've had this little ditty right here, which is the Jameson cold brew. So it's kind of a coffee flavor on ice with the Guinness. It's fantastic. So that's what I'm having here tonight.
And which one backs what's for the Guinness?
I think they back each other
Yeah.
pretty much. So, and this one is
that's
actually,
that's
this one's really good with coffee. So if you do a little bit of coffee, hot coffee and Bailey's, or you can do the chilled coffee on ice with a splash of the Jameson cold brew and a little Bailey's and cream, then that's fantastic. It's really,
Yeah, I would try that tomorrow morning, but
So-
Brett's going to hide it on me. I'm like, where's the Jameson? I'm not telling.
I might have to get a case
So-
of Jameson with different kinds.
Well,
How many different kinds of Jameson are there?
oh God, there's so many. There's Jameson 18, there's Jameson Gold, Jameson 12, there's regular Jameson, there's orange, there's cold brew, there's IPA. I mean, they've got, probably at least a dozen different
Wow.
types of Jameson. They've really
So a
branched
case.
out. And if you get a case of something, it would be great if they had like a case, flavor case, so you could have a bottle.
Yeah.
I think they do. Don't they have the small ones? The small.
They
little-
may, yeah. That would be really a cool addition. I would get that for sure.
You have to turn
So,
that
Little variety
Yeah.
pack.
because I think Guinness. I think we should send a video to Guinness.
Yeah, and they'll probably give us a cease and desist.
Quit promoting us. You guys are out of hand.
Quit promoting us.
Well,
We're losing.
Let's do a little real quick toast to the splashdown of Artemis
Splash down.
since it just happened.
Thankfully, it wasn't a splash up.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Glug.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's coffee whiskey. I would never have believed that I would enjoy it like that.
Wonder if you can get away with putting that in your
Well,
coolers
but
in the morning.
well, I put whiskey in my coffee before, so I guess
Oh, yeah.
this actually tracks. So
Mhm.
anyway, I
Todd,
wanted
who is your daddy and what does he do?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh my. Well, Brett's my dad. And, no,
yeah, I'm old enough to be somebody's dad. You started out in the industry. Were you doing dispatching, or
Yes.
was that what you started out at?
my public safety career started when I was 16 years old,
Wow.
and I'm now 24. So, but I started at 16 as a fire explorer with the city of Fridley. And I worked my way up through that, became a firefighter with Fridley. I retired at Fridley Fire at 28 years as a training officer and a lieutenant. And during a few years during there, I started working for Brooklyn Park Fire Department, and that's where I'm currently at. And I now have a total of 34 years in the fire service. And I worked at Anoka County 911 for almost 20 years.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
And started having just some unhappy feelings at Anoka, and Metro Transit was hiring, and I went to work at the Metro Transit Control Center as a police dispatcher and a transit control supervisor, and I spent 10 years there.
Okay, so if I have a fire, I don't even have to call 911. I just call you, right?
Come over and do it all.
Yeah.
Done. Okay, what's your emergency? Oh, okay, I'll be right there. Oh, hi, how you doing? Fire department.
Yeah.
Did your time in Fridley, did you ever cross paths with Michael Williams, the police officer?
Oh, yes, we all love Willie.
Okay.
His-
Yeah, he just
his-
retired.
his-
He's actually going to be on. We're trying to get him on next week, actually.
Well, that's what Brett was saying, and
Yeah.
and Willie's big thing was he's like, "What's up, dog?" Everybody's
What's
a,
up, King? Hey,
yeah,
King.
everybody's a dog to Willie, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. What's
Well,
up,
and
dog?
it's funny because I worked with his brother Marty for many years, where I worked, and loved Marty to death, and met Mike a couple of times. I really didn't know Mike, but Marty and I were really good buds, and he kind of taught me a lot of stuff that I ended up, knowledge wise, as a police officer. A lot of that stuff came from Marty. So
Marty's a good guy. That whole family, I had the ability to meet them, and they're just awesome people. I can't say enough good things about that family. They're just incredible.
So family. So you must have a really good chili recipe.
Well, I hate to say, but my chili recipe came from a retired firefighter from Brooklyn Center. So nothing against
Hey,
that.
that's all right.
Us fire guys. I mean, if you can see the profile of me, I'm not all that skinny. So
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
it's pretty good. Us
It's
fire
damn
guys eat well. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it seems like this whole thing's a family affair. Is that correct?
It really is. My dad was in the fire service for over 42 years. My brother is currently in the fire service. He's been in the business for over 20 years. My sister was a firefighter, EMT out in Kitsap County, Washington. She was in almost 10 years before she moved back home.
Mhm.
And so my whole family has been in the fire service, one capacity or another. And bless my wife, I love her dearly, but she's a nurse.
Oh, she's gonna
Well,
take care.
Well, she's like, who's going to save all these guys?
exactly.
And,
Yeah, right.
something happens to him. Who's going to take care of them?
Yeah,
Somebody's
right.
got to.
And my wife has been a nurse for over 30 years, and she absolutely loves it.
Well, hats off to your wife.
Yes.
That's
Thank
all
you.
I can say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hats off to her because of her career and because she married me.
Yeah. You got to give her credit for that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Somebody's got to change your diapers when you get old.
No.
I thought you do that, Stacey.
God. Poop talk.
Hey, now.
Hey, at least I'm not eating toilet paper. Okay?
Yeah, like our dogs do.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, since you did actual firefighting, you've done dispatching, you've worked in a bunch of different areas, administratively with the fire department. Which of those really kind of pushed you forward into knowing this is what I want to do?
The firefighting aspect of it, and watching my dad go to fires, watching my dad go to the fire station, hanging out at the fire station and seeing all the camaraderie between the guys and seeing the excitement on their faces when the bells went off.
Wow.
I mean, that to me, growing up and watching that was just, I've wanted to be a firefighter ever since I was a little kid.
Well, you got when you see the big red fire
Yeah.
truck,
Yeah, he's like
it
a
hits
hero.
a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what they
Yeah.
do here in St. Anthony every Christmas? They drive their truck
Yeah.
down Foss Road here, and it's all lights on,
And they play
and they play
carols.
really loud Christmas music.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah. The Spring Lake Park Plain Mountain View Fire Department, they also do a thing called Santa Around Town, where they're in their different cities. They have Santa up in a big sleigh
Yep.
being pulled behind a truck, and they do food drives.
That's
And
cool.
It's incredible the amount of food that they collect
Right.
for food shelves.
And you guys are like notorious for doing community service stuff. I mean, I know as a police officer, we did quite a bit as well, shop with a cop and that kind of stuff. But you guys are like always, I mean, I see you guys at the intersections with the boot and doing that stuff. So you guys do a lot of that stuff. What areas do you kind of focus in on?
I've participated in the Santa Around Town. We've done the MDA Fill the Boot program. I with my job currently, I'm as a fire inspector. I do a lot of public education, a lot of teaching, and lecturing with groups and stuff like that. So community is huge, because without the community, there is no fire department.
Right.
Right.
And without the fire department, we don't have a community, because we lose it. So we really take a lot of time in investing in the community, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, who owns the fire trucks in my fire station? The community.
Yep.
Who owns the building and paying for our new fire station in Brooklyn Park of over $50 million? The community.
Wow.
So it's like, hey, we're going to invest in you, and we're looking for that return when we need something.
Right.
So, I mean, it's community is huge for us.
What about ride-alongs? Do you do those too?
Yeah, we do community ride-alongs. We also serve as kind of a mentor program for the EMT, or the emergency medical technician programs in the local colleges. We have their EMT students come because they have to get so many patient contacts with their education. So we host those kids that come along. They're normally college kids, and they ride out with their guys and help take care of patients in our city. And we do offer community ride-alongs. People really want to learn about their fire department.
Yeah.
I encourage people to reach out. It's your fire station.
Yep.
It's your fire department. Without you, there is no fire department.
Now, I mean, I had the luxury of being able to work in different cities. And like in St. Paul, they had firefighters were their EMTs. But like in Minneapolis, a fire would get called along with medics, so they would kind of converge together. So you see the guys coming in with the fire trucks, and then medics would come and they would work together. Is that just kind of regional, or is that something that Brooklyn Park does as well?
Yeah, Brooklyn Park, we are a first responder, a fire EMT. So basically, if an ambulance goes someplace in Brooklyn Park, you get a fire truck. Minneapolis, that's how they do it as well. And you mentioned St. Paul; their folks are actually paramedics.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they have a paramedic, and they have their own transport division. So you get sick, or in St. Paul, if the firefighter paramedics are going to be the ones that are going to be taking you to the hospital, versus like Hennepin County Medical Center, North Memorial, or Alina Ambulance, or something like that.
So a little bit different from it kind of varies depending upon the city or the community.
Yep.
I have a question. So in the law enforcement, there's obviously a lot of different types of law enforcement officers. You have state troopers, you have sheriffs, you have SWAT, and so forth. Do firefighters have different levels or different types of firefighters that do different things specifically? That type of thing. I know, well, there's obviously investigators that do the higher level stuff, deeper in. Are there for specialty things?
There are specialty levels. There is a firefighter, and you can be either a first responder or EMT or paramedic. But then there are some departments that single out. You have a fire apparatus operator or a driver, if you will. Then you have the captains, who are the officers of the fire truck. And then you've got obviously different command staff, a deputy chief, assistant chief, fire chief. And then we do have fire investigators. And fortunately, with my position, I'm a fire investigator as well.
Okay.
And it's so those are really kind of the titles that we have in a nutshell.
Okay. So when you within a fire, and you have like the multiple alarm fire with different cities coming in,
Yes.
do that. How does that work on who takes charge of that that fire is depends on what city it is, who gets a
Yep.
call first?
Yep, and it's a great question, Stacy. So if we have a fire in Brooklyn Park, say we have an apartment fire, right away in Brooklyn Park, you're going to get 3 engines out of us and a ladder truck and a battalion chief. Now we also have an auto aid agreement with our neighbors. We may get 2 additional engine companies. Now, if it gets there and our chief says, "Hey, I need more help, give me a second alarm," that's all predetermined at our dispatch center as to who is going to be responding. And it's based on geography in our city. So if it's along the Mississippi River, we may get an engine from Fridley because they're right across the river, and we might get an engine from Brooklyn Center. So it's all predetermined. We can, in Hennepin County, we actually go up to 5 different alarm levels.
Okay.
And that's when we start hitting like the 4th and the 5th alarm. Now we're going to be pulling resources from like Minneapolis and maybe Edina or somebody like that, because we don't want to strap the rest of the cities by pulling additional resources from them. So we just keep furthering that footprint out.
Oh, okay. So what I was talking about earlier, but like, so there's obviously different kinds of fires. You have things that could end up a homicide, right? That goes in there. So you have a lot of different investigators that come in. But what about like different chemicals and stuff, different types of apparatuses that you guys use?
Yeah, we do have a state sponsored hazardous materials response team. They're called the Chemical Assessment Team, and they're regionally located throughout the state. So if we have a big hazmat spill, we can call those guys. I call them the mop and glow guys.
Because they're glowing.
Oh, yeah.
It's the mop and glow guys.
Yeah,
They're the ones that are going to be greeny, like light green when we're done. But
Radioactive.
yeah, exactly. So
Good. Why am I glowing?
Honey,
That's not
you
the
look
nightlight.
your eyes are purple, right? Are you okay? But we'll call on the hazmat guys because they're the specialists of the chemicals. We also have a technical rescue group, and they do all like rope rescues, high angle, low angle, and I call those guys dopes on a rope. 'Cause,
rescue like for animals and stuff, or
not necessarily animals, but like in Minneapolis, when somebody falls down one of the riverbanks,
Oh.
they have a tech rescue group that is trained in rope rescue.
Oh.
Well, we also have a state
Yep.
technical rescue team as well.
And then you have like that high. I just saw one the other day. I
Yeah.
don't see those too much. The big long ladder ones with the buckets on the top.
Yep.
You know?
We've got a 105-foot aerial platform in Brooklyn Park.
And those are all different types of training that you have to go through
Yep.
specifically. So how many would you say different types of trainings or certifications can you get while you're a firefighter?
Well, I have a 3-ring binder that is literally
oh my gosh.
of certificates of classes that I've taken.
Oh, okay.
So, but you can get Fire 1, which is your basic firefighting, Fire 2, advanced firefighting skills. You can get, you can get hazmat, technical rescue, confined space. There's just hundreds of them.
Okay.
Fire inspector and planned review person. You can get company officer 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, there's so many different levels of certification that we can obtain.
Do each one of those come with a raise?
I wish.
God, no kidding.
If that happened, I'd be making as much as Brett makes.
Now, Patrick, you work for the state. We're not going to get into what you do, but do you work with fire often, or
He starts them.
There's Cal Fire, which is the statewide branch of firefighting, and it's necessary because we do have just natural wildfires out here. Dries up and then the lightning strikes, and so yeah. I mean, I've when I was in a different position at the state. If there was a major fire or some sort of disaster, you would all go to the Cal OES, which is Office of Emergency Services, and that's where you have that huge wall with, super huge displays, and it looks like NORAD or something, but it's got all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating how the fires work out here. There's also the federals that do some of the fire, and a lot of it's just clearing the dead trees, which it's very difficult to do, especially because they've had a beetle infestation. So they're just drying out and killing trees. And that's why it's just a spark, will burn for 3 months. And, So yeah, it gets crazy out here.
Well,
we've had a drier winter than usual, so they're kind of freaking out about this summer's going to be.
Well, and I mean, you lived through the big fires that were, went through, LA, but you still got all the smoke and stuff, right? I mean, how did that affect you? Because you're farther north, aren't you?
Yeah, Northern California. So the LA fires didn't affect us at all. But there was a few in like 2018, 2019, 2020 that were like over here, and then there was one in Napa. So Napa's west of us, so we caught all that smoke, and it was literally like you couldn't see, like the downtown traffic cams. You couldn't even see the road with traffic on it. It was just that bad. So, people literally had to stay home a few days because it was just so bad. You couldn't breathe outside.
It almost seems like you're actually living in the best part of California because you don't have to deal with the craziness of LA and Southern California and all the fires and all of the
crazy people,
mental health issues as well. I mean, it's everywhere, but it's a little bit different, because like in Minnesota,
mental health issues.
In Minnesota in the winter, they just kind of filter off. Where you're at, it's it's you can be outside all year round.
Yeah, and we're in the valley, so we're not like on a fault line. I mean, we'll feel if it's a big enough earthquake in the mountains or out by San Fran, we'll feel a shock wave or two here, but we're not going to have a major catastrophe as far as an earthquake goes here because it's just super flat. We're not in the woods. We're not in the forest. We're not in the mountains. The biggest thing is flooding here, like because Sacramento was literally, I think it's like the most flood prone, and that's ahead of New Orleans. So like this is number one. If a levee breaks up here, we're done because they literally built it levees around the city, and there's water just all around us, and there's like 3 rivers that merge right where Sacramento is, and if that goes over, it's just going to go over.
Wow.
We're all going to be under 20 feet of water. So that's the big thing in Sacramento is the water thing.
Well, in California, I mean, they spend a lot of money, different types of firefighting. You have like the forestry, and then you have the city. So I just wanted to ask you, Todd, do you have guys that actually from Minnesota, Brooklyn Park area, do they go down and do like the forestry fire stuff, get up and go and do stuff like that?
I do have a couple of friends that work for the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources as forestry firefighters in their off time. And a couple of them have been activated to go out to, I think one of them went out to Colorado and was like a 18-day trip or something like that.
Okay.
We do have a local fire department, Spring Lake Park Plain Mounds View Fire. They actually have a group of firefighters that are forestry trained, and they were called up and activated to go to Colorado as well. So
that's kind of what I was talking about. So you got forestry firefighters. I suppose you got probably big, huge building firefighters that are specialty that do that.
Yeah, and the difference is and Patrick, I don't know if Cal Fire had the difference between forestry and or structural, but a lot of our folks in the metropolitan area are structural firefighters with no forestry background. So I remember, I don't know if you guys remember the Carlos Edge fire up in Carlos Avery several years ago. But we went up there, Fridley brought a crew up there to help put out the fires and protect the homes. And we had an engine company crew from Minneapolis Fire Department. They got off the truck and they kind of just looked at it like, okay,
this is different.
This is a forest fire. What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Now, do you guys have to, have to burn? Do you guys have to do control burns at all?
We don't. Those are all done by private companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are all done by private.
So the private's kind of like, I don't know. It gets out of control. I don't know.
I'm going to go burn this field. If that house
they're
going there, I'm dialing 911.
They did it.
Do you have any big rivalries with law enforcement? I don't know if you heard about this, but the annual New York PD versus Fire Department New York hockey game happened on March 29th. And there was a bench clearing brawl. You've got cops beating up firefighters hitting cops. I don't know if you heard about that. But yeah,
They
that
bring
was
their-
March 29th.
They brought their hoses to
Oh,
the
yeah.
fight.
Yeah, they were probably like blowing the cops over with their, fire hoses and stuff.
Let's bring an 1 3/4 hose line to a gunfight. Yeah, no, I did hear about that, and I watched the videos on that, and I'm just sitting there, and I actually had my brother behind me, who was a battalion chief, and we just looked at each other like, what the hell is this?
It's a good example for the city.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, right.
but it happens every single year.
Oh,
Every year they have this charity hockey game, and every year I'll bet you guys are being suspended. I mean, come on.
You're charged with assault.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah.
Well, and it's funny because I mean, like, there's the jokes and stuff, and I know my good friends are firefighters, and we go back and forth, and I always tell them, like for Halloween, I talked to my buddy Chad, who is a captain with Minneapolis. And I'm like, so if kids are dressed up as police officers and firefighters, do the firefighter kids have to wait until the police officer kids clear the scene? I always say, first in our hearts, second on scene.
That's right. That's right.
Patrick, I think you should try to get into ref one of those games. That would be kind of fun, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be
oh yeah.
a blast. Getting between firefighters and cops swinging. No,
My best friend is a retired Ramsey police officer, and he bought me a T-shirt that said the reason that or something along the lines of there's firemen out there because police officers need heroes too. and he bought me a T-shirt that says I'm the best second responder in the world. But no, the camaraderie between police and fire, obviously sometimes it can get pretty stressful during stressful times. But, and I think Brett knows this from working with him, you have to foster those relationships because when I was Brett's dispatcher, my job and my goal every night when I sat down behind the microphone was to make sure that he went home safely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And when I retired from dispatching, when I signed off, I said, my goal was to make sure that each and every one of you went home every night. And besides a few bumps and bruises, I accomplished my goal.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. Absolutely. In fact, when you left, I just kind of went, well, the place is going to burn down now. And it didn't burn down, but there was a learning curve, like the likes that we have never seen. And I know a lot of the cops are like going, come on, what's going on here? But I mean, and the thing is that you have certain dispatchers that are just golden. I mean, they know the job inside and out. We had a guy that, and you'll know who I'm talking about, I won't say names, but when he was on the main, it was like, paraphrase. But when we had him on data, oh my God, he was like, a god, a literal genius with information. I would say, can you check? And he'd just rattle off what I needed. Oh, okay. Can you? And then he'd rattle off. I couldn't even get a word in, but I got all the information, and it was fantastic. But then, we had guys that were great on main, and you put them on data, and you're like, oh, you're killing me.
What does that mean, main and data?
Yeah.
Well, you want me to take this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So when we talk about the mains, that's going to be the main police channel that they're going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Now with transit, you had an east and west main, St. Paul, Minneapolis. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Data channel is where if they can't do something in their cars or they're out on the platform or something like that, they can call, hey, 121, can you run this person and check for warrants? So we run them through the state computer and see if they have any warrants, valid driver's license, valid ID, whatever. And there are some, I agree with him 100%. There are some people that would give you like a 35-page book when all you want is like 2 sentences.
Yeah,
That was it.
Yeah. Do they have warrants?
Right. Yep.
Are they on the trespass list?
Mm-hmm.
And can we move on? Can we get them out of here?
Yep. Are they a good guy? Are they a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
Good guy, cut him loose. Bad guy. Okay, now we got to talk.
All right.
So tell us about one of your most complex or most the longest running investigation, or the most detailed, or not detailed, but let's see, of maybe the coolest thing you've ever been on.
Yeah, the coolest call
The coolest call.
that you've had.
Oh my.
And then I want you to, if you could, finish it up with the one that affected you the most
Oh.
in some way.
Well, the coolest one I think I was on was a delivery of a child, because obviously in public safety we always see lives taken, but very seldomly do we see a life come into the world.
Wow.
And this one I was actually on it with my brother. I love him dearly, but it still pisses me off. He got a stork pin and I didn't. But and all he did is he held the flashlight up. And I was out dealing with the other kids in the other room to keep them occupied while mom's just delivering another child so it's like, okay. So
Flashlight.
So he didn't do this.
no, but it was more of a I'm sorry.
That gives new meaning to the word
Light
dispenser.
Ew.
Oh, come on.
It was her sixth child, let me just say.
Oh.
a little bit easier.
Yeah, and the one that affected me the most was probably one of my first calls, and we got dispatched to a company called FMC, or United Defense, down on East River Road. They made missile shells for tanks and stuff like that.
Yikes.
Yes. So we got a call of a report of a floor scrubber on fire inside the building. So their building was big enough that we could actually pull our engine right into their plant.
Oh, wow.
We pulled up and we were met with the deputy chief, and he met us on the side of the truck and he said, "Hey guys, just so you know, we're not putting out a floor scrubber." We're like, "Oh, okay. What do we got going on?" And he goes, "We're going to be putting out a person."
Oh, boy.
So,
What?
and so it, unfortunately, what had happened was this metal vat that this gentleman was moving, it broke, pinned him to the ground, and poured molten steel across the top.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
So
Oh.
that was by far the most influential call, most frustrating call, because I mean, it's my first one.
right.
And the guy's, he's literally laying, I still see visions of him. He's laying there like this. And he was 3 months away from retiring with 45 years.
Wow.
So that one, and when I came back to the fire station, my dad was on shift, and I went to talk to my dad, and he basically started the process of saying, "Hey, if you can't handle this, you can't handle what you're seeing, maybe you need to change your occupation because we don't talk about this stuff around the fire station."
Yeah, right.
So what do I do the next 15, 20 years? Keep my head down, don't say nothing.
Well, yeah, and that's tough because I mean, it's a lot of times you want to talk to the people you work with because it's that kinship where you can get that stuff off your chest. You can talk about it, and they can say, "Hey, I feel the same way," and at least you have, someone you can confide in to take some of that stress off. And I know as a police officer, I mean, I've seen some really horrific things that human beings have done to each other. It's just like, how as a human being, how can a human being do this to another human being? But then I turn around and I see how compassionate a human being can be to another. So it kind of restores that stuff. But, and that was kind of the same thing. You didn't really talk about it, but we had people you could talk to in order to kind of get the stuff off your chest and to talk to professional people that kind of promoted and pushed that. But I found a lot of times it was good just to talk to, kind of debrief with my crew and talk about it, and see who needed, a little bit more further help, mental health wise.
Well,
Yeah, except for
So-
me. Brett would come home from work and I'd go, "So, what happened today?" "Nothing."
Well,
And I'm like,
well, I mean,
what?
men aren't geared to talk about stuff like that. It seems like, and that goes into our next thing is that you work with PTSD and speak to what do you tell us about that a little bit? Your work with that.
I did start talking about it, and I have an answer for your question, or what you just said about, husband comes home and say, "Hey, what happened today?" "Nothing. I'm fine." And I want you guys to think about, what does that word "fine" think, what does that mean?
Right.
It means feelings I'm not expressing.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's just kind of another way to think about it.
Interesting.
Okay.
But he didn't want to share with you because he doesn't want to bring you into his world. His world is so damaging to him, but he doesn't want to draw you in. So he's sparing you the details of the stuff that happened with him. And that's why a lot of first responders don't share with their families.
Well, and and I can attest to that because a lot of times it's like I didn't want her to worry
Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
more than she had to. I mean,
She worries enough.
and I'm okay. I'm able to deal with this stuff, and I have my ways of dealing with it that are healthy.
Right.
But I didn't want her to worry every time I left. And the other thing is,
Well, you did anyway.
yeah,
course.
and
course.
the thing is, there's kind of a protection mode that you go into. A lot of cops like me, you go to work, you work your 10 or 12-hour shift. As soon as you're on your way home, you're logging that in the back of your mind, and you're not even thinking about it anymore. And I got used to that was the best way for me to deal with it because I didn't
Compartmentalize,
want to bring that home. And the next day when I went to work, then I, would have to, throw that back into gear. But then I'd get home and she goes, "How's your day?" And I'm like, "Oh, geez, I got to think about it again," because I honestly
Already tucked it away in that box.
tucked it away in the box, and I didn't think about it on my way home. I'm thinking about, wonder what
we
we're having for dinner, like, grill and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to the bar. I got a few things at home. I got to blow off the patio.
Yeah, did the maid clean the house today?
But I started thinking about other things, and then as soon as I got in my car, my stress level went down to the floorboards.
Yep.
And I didn't really think about it. So when she'd ask me, it's like, well, how'd your day go? And I'm like, nobody got hurt. So,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
that's kind of how it went. But you go through deeper
Oh yeah.
levels with PTSD and stuff like that. What is part of the training protocol for that?
Well, my wife and I, we developed a program called PTSD. It's a family problem. Because if you look at all the people that have been affected with post-traumatic stress disorder, it's not the responders that are admitting that they've got a problem, because if you admit it to your peers, it's going to be a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've heard of people, I shouldn't say seen, I heard of people not being promoted or moved up because they're seeking mental health assistance.
Sure.
So their peers and their supervisors like, okay, we don't want to burden them with that. But so we developed a program again called PTSD. It's a family problem, because I want to be able to go out and talk to first responder, fire, police, EMS agencies, and we've done it throughout the state of Minnesota, and now we're into Wisconsin doing stuff now, which is fantastic. But my wife and I do it together, because I go through and I tell everybody, okay, here's what the signs and symptoms are, not the clinical signs, because you know what, another firefighter's not gonna, he doesn't want to hear a clinician talk. I'm talking
Right.
as a backseat firefighter. I'm one of you guys. So I tell them everything that I experienced. And then in the part of the biggest issue is people admitting it. So
Sure.
I get done with all that. The second portion of our program is I stand up right in front of everybody and say, "Good evening, everybody. My name's Todd Messer, and I have PTSD. I was diagnosed with PTSD." And then I talk about my adventure with PTSD leading up to my wife finally saying, "Honey, keywords we need to do something about this, because if we don't, I can't be married to you anymore, because I don't know who you are anymore."
Right.
Oh,
Because of all of the changes in my personality and my eating habits, sleeping habits, just
all
all
your
my
behaviors, yep.
behaviors. So we finally, she helped me find a counselor, and I started seeing a counselor, and then she talks about her side of the battle. So we speak to the wives as well, or the spouses as well,
Sure.
because it's a program that I want the first responder and their spouse there. Because I talk to their spouses, Kathy talks to their spouses.
What about children? Do you bring them into the picture too, or?
I have older teen kids,
Okay.
not the young ones, because the young ones just aren't going to understand
Sure.
it.
Yep.
right.
So if they have teenagers, like say, I think the youngest that was, I had one that was like 13, but I try to get the older teen kids and the spouses, because the older kids are going to notice the differences in mom or dad.
Sure.
So it's about a 2.5 hour program, and And like I say, the difference between mine versus others is I'm not a clinician.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have 17 letters behind my name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing is, a lot of the guys and the gals that are on the front lines, they don't trust the clinicians. They
Right.
don't want to talk to, and that's why they want to talk to their peers, because they know that peer has been there before, that has dealt with it, and they can connect on that level. And it's harder with the clinician, because the clinician can say, well, I know all about this. Well, they may, but the experiences are
Right.
different.
Yep.
Unless the clinician came from that background, it's tough to, a lot of these guys and gals it's tough for them to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I
absolutely.
know that, the stress levels are different for each person. But I remember, when I retired, I was worried that I was going to miss what I was doing. I was worried I was going to lose my identity. And, that was part of my bit of PTSD. Was I had everything wrapped up in being a cop, that was my identity.
Right.
And I was so scared that when I left, what was I going to be? And I found within 2 weeks, I was happy. I was like, why am I happy?
Because you're with me.
Well, that too. But but the thing is, like, I wasn't feeling that stress all of the time.
Right.
Constant stress. All of a sudden, it's like, what do I do today?
Yeah.
I don't have to go to
Make
a
cheese
call.
breakfast.
Right. I don't have to go to that call where I have to deal with the domestic issues. I don't have the guy that's fighting with me, trying to grab a gun or a knife, or, I didn't have to think about that stuff.
Right.
My decision making was, am I going to make coffee first, or make some eggs and bacon?
Eggs
There
and
you go.
bacon.
So,
Or go back.
So what? Okay, as far as prescription for people that have PTSD, how much is exercise? What are the things that you have them do that they have to do on a daily or regular basis, such as exercise? I'm sure that's a big
Right.
part of it. And
Exercise is huge because it gives everybody, it gives you an outlet.
Mhm.
And I just want to touch base really quick on something Brett said. Identity is huge.
yeah.
Okay, for me, with my dad, it wasn't Ralph Messer, the fire marshal. It was Fire Marshal Ralph Messer.
Right.
That was his life. And when he retired, he just I love him dearly. Rest in peace, Dad. But he didn't do an awful lot. He just it was more about watching TV, listening to the radio. There was a couple days. Couple days or a couple of times, I should say, a year or two after he retired, and my brother and I were working on the engine. He'd have a scanner and he'd listen to us. He'd call us on the phone. We'd be at a fire alarm, and I'd look at Walt. I go, "It's Dad. Do you, you want to answer it, or should I?" And I would go,
Are you doing rock, paper, scissors?
You got it. But we'd answer the phone and we'd go, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" He goes, "Oh, Bill's the manager on there, and his office is up on the second floor." And yep, we got that. Appreciate the call, Pop. We'll call you back.
so he was a firefighter before he was himself.
Yes. Yep.
And that's pretty profound, because people, when they identify as something, what is it? How much is that taking them over, or are they taking that over? Right. Okay.
And that's the big thing and that's the big fight and struggle is people's identity.
You have to turn that around them and going back into, okay, you're not a firefighter. You're Todd.
Yep.
You're that, and that's more than a firefighter.
Yep. My name is Todd Messer, and I have an occupation as a firefighter and a fire inspector.
Interesting.
But what we ask people to do is, number one is be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That involves exercising.
Good thing you're not. I am Fire Marshal Bill.
Let's burn something. Let's burn something.
At least you're being like healthy and thinking about it. Healthy.
Your middle name isn't Pyro.
I actually have a Fire Marshal Bill T-shirt. Okay?
Oh my God, funny.
And I wore it to a fire investigators conference last year, and they just about laughed me out of there. but
speaking of being healthy, and that's kind of part of it, and that's why we all laugh when we watch Fire Marshal Bill, because he's starting himself on fire, he's tripping over, he's doing everything stupidly and wrong. But when you take a look at the aspects of taking care of yourself, you really have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's huge because, obviously somebody's metabolic, their metabolic body and their metabolic panels can be affected by stress and everything like that. So, I've got a great doctor who takes very good care of me. She just spanked my hand because
Wait, that was your wife.
Well, let me tell you about but no, she slapped my hand because my blood sugars are higher than normal. Well,
Sure.
I have to get that under control, and it's about me. So we encourage them, be healthy, eat healthy, don't drink yourself into oblivion. And family members, if you find your spouses are doing that, now you need to have that conversation. And the other big thing is communication. Communication is huge. If something is bothering you, if I come home from a day and, with being a fire investigator, there's a good chance I'm going to see a burned body or somebody who died by fire. Okay. Yeah. There's a good chance that that's going to happen. If I come home and my spouse is there and she goes, "Oh, so what happened?" And I don't want to tell her, I'm not just going to snap at her and say, "No, don't bother me about it." It's okay to say, "You know what, dear? I'm not ready to talk about it. When I am, I'll come find you."
Yep.
And my ask from spouses is, if your husband or your first responder says that, be okay with that. Don't keep pounding them. "Oh, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened." "Oh, you're not talking about it." "Oh, tell me what happened." No, I'm not ready to talk about it. But when I am, I'll come talk to you.
Now, how many working in Brooklyn Park, how many fires on average? I mean, is this daily stuff that you guys are going through? Because I know you're like cops, you have to go out there and you're kind of, like a shark. You're moving around, you're driving the truck. I mean, you want to go get lunch, everybody jumps on the truck and goes together.
I like how you say it like a cop. We're driving from Holiday Gas to
Terrible coffee.
Going from Holiday to Quick Trip and
to
then
Dunkin' Donuts.
Amoco to Dunkin'.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Way to go,
I made sure that my guys weren't hanging out at Holiday drinking coffee and eating churros. So they were you got your stuff and you got back out on the road and you did proactive work.
And bring me one on your way back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is how it went for Brett. 105. 105, go ahead.
I'm 58 years old and I've seen a lot of cop cars at a Dunkin' Donuts or a gas station, but I've never seen a fire truck there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stacy, you're my new friend, buddy.
I know, right?
Patrick, you don't even say anything out California.
We saw them out. We always saw them at Cub Food. So
no, in Brooklyn Park, I think last year we ran almost 9,000 calls for service.
okay.
Wow.
That includes medical emergencies and fires. And I think actual fires, I think we had, I'm going to guesstimate probably about 250 fires. Of that, there were probably about 30 structure fires.
And that, if you think about it, 365 days, 250 of those are structural fires. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And then you're sprinkling in all of the, calls that you're getting, person's having a heart attack, you're getting all these emergency calls for paramedic, EMT, stuff like that. But that's a lot of stuff that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Daily.
The busiest day that we've had so far, we had, I think it was 44 runs in one 24-hour period.
Jeez.
I suppose technology has a lot to do with it too. The new sprinkler systems and what they use to build stuff with instead of what they used to build stuff with. That's probably less flammable.
The sprinkler systems, they do their job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, you mentioned sprinklers. I just want you to think, what are sprinklers for? They're to contain a fire so the fire department get there, not put the fire out, prevent it from spreading.
Sure.
So we've actually had a couple sprinkler saves that we call them. But yeah, we're a very busy fire department. And it's just an absolute blast, and I just love my job.
What's the most the problems that cause fires the most? What are the biggest causes of fires?
People.
People?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
People.
Not just people being
People.
idiots.
Yeah, city.
I mean,
Well, smoking
City.
or is it
it's more or less
candles?
well, to be honest,
You don't remember those commercials when you were growing up, Smokey the Bear? Come on.
only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, I could go on all day and give you a list of like umpteen pages, but it's basically carelessness.
Yep.
Is what it boils down to. It's just carelessness, and I'll tell you, cell phones don't help us at all because people get distracted. It's just like driving. People put stuff on the stove and they get distracted with their phones and they're trying to do Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, ABC 123, whatever program you want, and they forget about what they're doing in the kitchen. Next thing you know, they got a.
I did that.
Kitchen.
Yeah. When I lived in St. Louis Park,
Yeah.
I left a plastic bowl on the stove and I went to work. And my boyfriend calls me at work and goes, Gene, what did you do? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. It was on fire. The neighbor kicked the door down and they opened up the patio doors and everything. Yeah. So I'm guilty of that.
Yeah. And the biggest thing I always tell people in pub ed stuff is pay attention. Just pay attention. If you know you're going to get distracted, set your timer, for a minute to go off and so you can go back and check something. But
and anything that doesn't burn on the stove or just
leave it off the stove.
don't put it there ever.
Leave it
Ever.
off the stove.
Yeah. I mean, we've had fires. It's funny you mentioned that. We had a fire a few years ago. The lady had a bunch of cardboard products and paper products. The dog got up on the stove, turned the burner on. Next thing you know.
Yeah.
We had when I was an MP in the Army, we got called. I got there first actually with my unit, and it was just the smoke was billowing out, and I ran in, and she was passed out on the couch, and it was a hot dog that she left on the stove, and that thing I couldn't believe how much that smoked.
Yep.
It just smoked up the whole thing, and I pulled her out of there, and yeah,
Patrick,
wow,
Patrick, you got kids. Anything like that you've had to deal with in training them how to cook and take care of the house and stuff?
Yeah, my oldest, she likes to cook, so she's very careful around the kitchen, and I make sure that she's not distracted. But yeah, I've taught them, if something goes off on the stove, this towel that's hanging on the refrigerator, wipe hands with, you just throw it on that. It should take care of it.
Everything's electric there, right? In California, because we still have gas.
I've got electric appliances.
No.
But I mean,
My stuff is electric.
well, but it's like Patrick lives in a building. He's like on the third floor. I mean, and the escape routes are limited, more limited than I think than anybody else. I mean, we live in a townhome and we've got many escape routes.
I have a fire extinguisher on every level here.
Yeah,
And Brett just updated all of our.
our fire detectors.
Yep.
Good. Proud of you, bro.
Yep.
Nice
Thank
job.
you. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I don't care
And
what
they
you say.
detect. They don't.
I
What
did
else?
that.
It doesn't have that beep.
They detect that other stuff too. The
Yeah.
Carbon
is that?
monoxide.
Carbon monoxide.
That other stuff.
But
That other
I mean,
stuff.
but I mean, and it's weird because I mean, I think about it, and I think about Patrick because Patrick was talking once. He goes, "Well, yeah, I got a door. I mean, you got a front door, don't you?
I got a balcony I could jump off of.
Oh,
I suppose, but
Is the pool nearby? Can you make it into the pool?
no, it's a
No.
little bit of a walk. Yeah.
So you're working for Fridley right now,
Yep. Nope. I work
No.
for Brooklyn Park.
Brooklyn Park right now.
Yep.
What's next on the? There's got to be more because you've done. What haven't you done yet?
The only thing that's a great question. The only thing I haven't done, excuse me, the only thing I haven't done is I haven't been a chief officer,
Okay.
deputy chief, assistant chief, fire chief, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm more of I want my boots on the ground. I want to connect with my crews. And now being in the fire marshal's office, I took a promotion in the fire marshal's office almost a little over 4 years ago now. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to stay in the business, but my knees are telling you, hey, dummy, you're 50 years old. You can't keep up with these young kids anymore. So now the big joke at the fire station is if the OG, it's me, not old gangster, the old guy.
Yeah.
The old guy's walking slow. Get behind him.
Well,
it's
at
going down.
least they didn't call you grandpa.
Oh, there's a couple of our hung yucks that do call me grandpa.
Well, and one of the ex-sheriffs for Hennepin County called me grandpa
Oh,
What?
constantly.
oh,
Yes.
Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Brett.
Oh, it's
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just the other day.
It was my birthday on just last week.
well, happy belated, Grandpa.
Yeah, one more closer to. I got one more foot closer to get it in the grave there. I mean,
to this.
putting it right in.
At least I remembered this year.
One more
He's
before.
like, what? Like 1 year, he goes, he's on his way to work and he goes, is there something you want to say to me? And I'm like, what?
Well, I thought that she was like giving me a hard time, so I was trying to give her a hard time back by going, is there something you want to tell me? And she's like, no.
Did you replace the toilet paper on the toilet roll?
Yeah, well, it was like 2 days later, she goes, here's a birthday card. I'm sorry, I forgot your birthday. I'm like, I thought you were giving me a hard time. That's because that's kind of what we do.
Okay.
We don't really, like birthdays.
At least it was handmade.
We'll say happy birthday, but like Christmas and stuff like that, because our dynamic is, if I want something, I'm just going to go out and buy it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going to let her know I'm buying this, and she's going to go, okay.
Yeah.
She's not like, no, you're not.
No.
Like, she's like, all right. And if she's going to buy something, she's like, she doesn't tell me I'm going to buy it. She goes, I bought this.
Yeah.
So there's the difference. I'm buying something. She says, I already bought it,
Yeah, too late.
which is fine because I've been eyeing a Gibson Explorer guitar
What?
that I haven't told her about yet.
Well, you didn't know.
Fully support that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I learned 27 years ago that a man can only forget somebody's birthday or anniversary once.
I did that.
Now, how long have you been married? You've been married for like forever.
Yeah. 28 years total. 3 happy, but 28 total.
Yeah, you did say your wife was out of town.
Yeah,
So.
the three before you got married, right?
Yeah, with my freedom.
Oh.
Yep.
Freedom.
No, my beautiful wife, she's down in Florida with our daughter, and they're going to start their trek home because my daughter has been spending some time with her aunt down in Naples, and she flew down Thursday, and they're going to drive home this weekend.
And you said your daughter's a nurse?
My daughter is she works for North Memorial as a medical coder.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
coder.
so,
I did
yep.
that.
Yep.
CPT
And
codes. And
she loves it.
Yep.
Absolutely loves it. And so it's kind of fun. She'll come out and say, "Oh, you won't believe what I just coded this person. They had the broken leg and they did the surgery. And then they had a cardiac arrest." I'm like, "Oh, damn, that's cool."
yeah.
And it ended up being COVID.
Yeah.
No.
So you one daughter?
Yep. One daughter.
One daughter, and you said you had brothers. How many brothers?
I've got one brother.
And he's a
And-
firefighter too.
Yep. He's a battalion chief with Fridley.
Okay.
And I have a sister, and she works for Anoka County COPE in the mental health unit.
Wow.
So
whole family-
literally,
a family affair.
everybody, it's a family affair because dad, you,
Yeah,
brother.
Dad's hat. We got to see Dad's hat.
Oh,
Oh yeah, let's see that.
so my dad's hat. Oh, there we go. It's a sign that says Engine Company 213. And my dad, my father owns
Right there. Yeah.
he owns a 1937 American LaFrance fire truck from St. Louis Park.
No shit.
And with him passing away, my brother and I have now taken on ownership of that, and we got it running.
No.
My goal was to have it running before my dad passed, and unfortunately, because of winter months and all that stuff, they couldn't find parts.
Mm.
So he passed away on January 7th of last year, and we got the fire truck back in running condition on his birthday of March 31st.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
I
So
love it.
what other cool old fire memorabilia do you have?
Oh my gosh.
Do you have a lot of cool stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got old canister fire extinguishers.
Do you have an axe?
Which one?
That's like asking a police officer if they have handcuffs. Yes, Jerry, do you want to see my axe? Yeah, well, I mean,
Is that an axe in your pocket? Or you just have it on
Only if
TV?
it's made out of real wood.
So what is the coolest thing you have?
I actually, we've got some of these old cast iron fire trucks that were made back in like the late 50s, early 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and we found them down in my dad's base.
Oh, wow.
And they're just these old cast iron things,
Oh.
heavier than hell, and they're just so.
You should take those on Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
What about those old leather? Remember the old leather
Oh, the old leather helmets.
fire helmets? Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have any of those, but we do have the old rubber jackets because back in the 60s they used to wear just rubber jackets.
Okay.
And they would come coming down to like mid thigh. Then you had hip boots that you put the boots on you to pull it up, and basically anything that wasn't covered it was going to get burned or something like that. But now we have this fully encapsulating structural turnout gear, so we got a lot of the old stuff.
There's something on, and I think this law is still in effect, but obviously it's not part of they don't enforce it, but it is illegal to drive a red vehicle down Hennepin Avenue. I think it's still on the books because remember back in the day, all cars were black because the Fords, and the only vehicle that was red was a fire truck. Yep. So, I read that somewhere.
It's not Hennepin, it's Nicollet Avenue.
Oh, Nicollet Avenue. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's okay.
Yep,
that's right.
Isn't that mostly pedestrian when it's downtown?
Well, now it is.
Now it is, yeah.
They spent way too much money widening the sidewalk, and they should have widened the street because I mean, the buses, the fire, cops and everything else. Police cars and stuff.
You get one vehicle that blocks one lane, and now Nicollet Avenue is just hosed. So.
And it's funny because there's another thing that I learned too is that they're in a fire department, and I think this was on. God, I can't remember what I saw this on. It's what started planned obsolescence. There is a light bulb in a fire department that's like over 100 years old, and it's still lit.
Wow!
And that was what determined them for the filaments to burn out. And then you guys can look this up. But it's still in that firehouse because there was a fire chief there, and he was there for such a long time. It's like that light bulb has never went out, and he started doing research on it.
Wow,
that's
cool.
And found out that it was like I can't remember, like 1903 or something like that.
That's cool.
Gene, can you look that up?
No.
oldest light bulb in fire department.
Okay.
See what it says.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rich history that's in the fire service. I mean, going back to the days of Benjamin Franklin and all the fire signs and all that stuff, and it's amazing.
Do you have any of those cool things?
He's got a couple of things like that. The insurance signs. One thing I learned about these insurance signs is you could have, say, Brett and I live next door to each other. If I pay my insurance and he doesn't pay his insurance, and there's a fire that comes out, it's called a fire mark. They'll come to my house, put my fire out, but they'll let his house burn to the ground.
Oh, wow.
because the fire department won't get paid for it.
Oh, right? Wow.
Oops.
Guess you should have paid your premium.
Yeah.
So it's the Centennial Light in Livermore, California, Patrick. Is the oldest known operating light bulb, continuously burning since 1901.
Since 1901.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So for over 125 years.
Yeah.
Fire station number 6.
Wow.
Yep, it's a 60 watt. It's a 60 watt bulb, and it emits a dim light equivalent to 4 watts.
Patrick.
That's like 3 hours away. It's like south of Berkeley. I don't know if it's worth the trip, but that's pretty cool.
But that's when they started planned obsolescence because it's like, well, if we make light bulbs, we'll sell one, right?
Right. You'll sell one and you'll go out of business.
Right.
And so I get that, but holy smokes. I mean,
1901.
If people understand that, they'd be like going,
I want that. Who made that light bulb?
Right. Well, but now they're going back. Now you have LEDs that, last for 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Where now we're kind of heading back in that direction to save energy.
Yeah.
So I guess. So
Can LEDs start a fire?
I personally haven't seen anything where they've started a fire.
No, I don't.
I don't think the light bulb. I think it's
the wire. It's the wire going.
wiring.
Oh, yeah.
The actual wiring could probably start something on fire. Speaking of, you do. You're an inspector, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you do investigations on fires and stuff?
I do.
Excellent.
So do you have to go back the next day after you put out a fire? You got to go back the next day to see what happened here.
Typically, what we try to do is if it's in Brooklyn Park, we'll fight the fire. We'll put the fire out. Then I will be on scene, and then
start right away.
I'll start right away. The reasoning behind that is if everybody from the fire department leaves the scene, I have to obtain a warrant to go back on the property.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, but there's also contamination later on. Maybe it rains or something like that. You don't want that to happen.
Yep. So, so with the investigations, I'm investigator of the Brooklyn Park. but I'm also on the Hennepin County fire investigation team, where I'm a team leader.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to go with fires in Hennepin and Anoka County with being on an Anoka County fire investigation team as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to go investigate a lot of fires. It's a blast.
Now, how many of those investigations, if you can say something, I don't know if they're closed cases or open, ends up where you're like, yeah, this is arson. They burned this down. And how do you figure that out?
Or like a homicide.
Or yeah, even a homicide that somebody's trying to cover up. I mean, that
Yeah.
stuff happens, right?
Yeah. For actual arson cases, I will openly admit about a handful. Not too many people are committing arson anymore, which is strange. But I've got an open arson case from 2024.
Oh, wow.
That I'm still working on. I just got some lab results back from BCA recently, so we'll see if it goes anywhere. The problem in Hennepin County is typically what they do is they use that arson charge as to dangle it in front of the bad guy and say, okay,
Right.
we'll drop the arson charge if you plead to this,
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
which is, to me as an investigator, it's disappointing.
Very.
Well, and I'm sure like during COVID, you must have had a lot of people, burning down their businesses to try to recoup money from insurance,
Right.
because they're going out of business anyway. I mean, it's that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have to do a lot of that stuff in 2020 and stuff?
We did. Not too many of that actually happened. Unfortunately, what really happens the most of the times is what we're seeing is for us as investigators, we have to determine cause and origin.
Okay.
Okay. So that's our primary focus. We may leave a fire classified as an undetermined fire. That means that somebody comes back later on. Now we can reclassify it.
Right.
So we're not saying this is definitively an electrical fire. Somebody comes in and says, nope, this was an arson fire. Well, now we look like a bunch of schmucks, so we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
Right.
So we're like, okay, it's going to be an undetermined fire with a high degree of probability,
Mm-hmm.
which means over 51%. This is what happened.
Right.
So you
So-
must have had to testify in court.
I personally have never had to testify
Really?
in court yet.
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 Well, after
Yet.
35 years,
Yeah.
you got a pretty good record.
Well, now that you said it, now he's going to go to.
Oh, sorry about that.
Appreciate you.
Well,
Who invited her in?
I don't know. Some dick.
But
But they'll pay for your lunch and mileage.
yeah, and they'll give me a stipend of $1.55. So, I have been to court on medical calls and stuff like that, or homicides, and stabbings and
like
stuff.
homicides and stabbings. I mean, how do you,
Ugh.
I mean, and it's enveloped into a fire. I mean, has there been something where it's like somebody committed the crime and then started the fire to
Yeah.
cover it up? And I mean,
Oh.
is
Yep.
that something you can talk about?
We had a case in Columbia Heights many years ago. A guy killed his wife and then set her bedroom on fire.
Oh.
We found her laying on the bed.
Mhm.
Well, how we determined that it was a homicide was the fact that it wasn't a fire death,
Right.
because obviously once you die, you stop breathing.
Right.
Well,
She must have had
her-
smoke in her lungs.
she didn't, because
She
you're
did-
not.
oh,
you're
yeah.
No, you're not inhaling, yep.
it.
Yep.
She was,
Okay,
she was
gotcha.
dead
She's
first.
dead already,
and-
yep.
Dead first,
Right.
then they set the fire. So
Mhm.
we could determine that this was a homicide
Homicide, yep.
situation because she was murdered before that fire got started.
Yep.
So
Now, I mean, this more goes towards forensic stuff, but if it's a super hot blaze where the body really gets burned, are you still able to see if there was smoke in the lungs or
Yeah. Autopsy.
gunshot or something like that?
unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
But I don't go in and cut them open and stuff like that. I just what I do know is I would venture to guess at some level of that body they would be able to determine, was it a smoke inhalation situation or no smoke inhalation.
Right.
you know?
And I'm sure that like when they do the autopsy, it's like you're taking your report, their report, the
Yep.
police report, and you're kind of folding everything in together. So you're able to go after the people.
You need to watch CSI Miami more.
Oh yeah.
But
That'll
I-
tell you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there was one of those big cases just a few weeks ago, the Jesse Pierce situation. She was with the Wild. She did a podcast called Bar Down
Yep.
Beauties.
Yep.
And she and her 3 children died, and
Yes.
it was like
I
at
heard
5 in
that.
the morning. And so I was reading up on it, and they don't have a cause yet. Is that something that's going to take longer because of the circumstances? And then also, it looks like there's some sort of Minnesota agency that's actually running that one.
Yeah, from what I understand, the state fire marshal's office is in charge of that investigation, and my assumption is that it is going to take a lot longer because of the fatalities that were involved, and the lack of better wording, we want to get that right.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get that. We want to have the cause origin. We want that right for the family, and they want to have all their T's crossed, all their I's dotted, and we got to do the
Very
family
sad.
some
Due
justice.
diligence.
Very
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, very much.
I didn't know
so.
her, but yeah, I was thinking like, she's part of the Minnesota Wild community, and we're all Wild fans here.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I watched some of her podcasts, and
Yeah.
her social media. She was very active, and she just posted a picture of the day before they were getting ice cream with the kids
Oh,
at
God,
whatever
that's
shop
so
opens up
crazy.
in the
Just
spring. It's a big deal.
absolutely
but, yeah,
gut wrenching.
gonna suck.
With that one, I get notifications on my phone of fires just because I'm kind of a dork when it comes to fires. So I have this program called Pulse Point, and I have it notify me on structure fires in Ramsey County and Anoka County, just because I'm kind of a dork, and if I hear it go off, I'll roll over and turn my scanner app on my phone and have my wife look at me and go, "Why are you're such a dork," and then she'll roll over, go back to sleep. But I listened to that fire from the beginning, and they just it was a bad case right off the bat, and I mean they had heavy fire showing, and just a horrible situation.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
Horrible.
What do they have any idea what caused it yet?
I haven't heard anything, Stacy.
Hmm.
And I do know the state fire marshal's office is investigating it, and
I heard a beer open.
Now, like when the state goes in, I'm assuming it's going to be the state and the BCA, unless it's something even bigger that's federal. Then I'm assuming the FBI comes in. So the state's got to figure it out first to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Do they work hand in hand with the county or the city?
Yes, absolutely. The state, they'll come in and they, instead of taking over the scene, the investigators that I've worked with, I've called them in on a couple of fires. I just had one this last week, and I called them on. I said, "Hey, fire marshal, here's what we got. It's going to be a high dollar loss. Do you want to come in? Do you want to come up and help us with this, or what is your preference?" Because typically they come in, they work side by side. And with that case that I had, he's like, "Hey, just let me know what you got when you get done." And he goes, "I'm not going to do anything different than what you guys are already doing." So he goes, "Just send me your paperwork, and we'll collaborate on that." On fatal fires, they do have to be notified on every fatal fire. It's their choice if they take the lead investigative role on that, or if they just assist the locals.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've had fatal fires where our states come in Brooklyn Park, and since we have such a great working relationship with them, they say, "Hey, you know what? I'll assist you. What resources do you need from me?"
Right.
Okay, cool.
But I'm sure, though, I mean, it goes without saying that, if it's like a death because, lady fell asleep with a cigarette, and you're able to figure that out one quickly, and versus the one where the person got shot in the head and they put them on the bed and burned the house down, that now you're talking more towards that state side.
Right.
And looking at that, I would imagine there's more resources involved in that.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got all this resources to the state side. They've got the federal resources. We had a fire in Golden Valley that was started political reasons.
Oh,
Well,
Wow.
hey, you know what? We need to get the feds involved because it's a politically charged situation here. So now the feds come in, they work with the state works with local jurisdiction, and we all put our heads together and do the investigation together.
Speaking of which, the worst fires in Minneapolis, when Minneapolis burned actually during the Floyd riots, how many fires is that still going on? Because there's a lot of fires.
Minneapolis does have a lot of fires. Some of the local jurisdictions, Minneapolis has their own investigators on shift with their folks, and they very, very seldomly do they let other agencies come in and help them out.
Because I don't know how many fires there were during that time, but yeah, a lot of them probably just like Molotov cocktails and things like that, and a lot of money and a lot of insurance. A lot of it, I'm pretty sure that's probably still going on.
Yeah. I still have a picture on my computer of that St. Paul building that during the George Floyd conflicts that that whole building is just right down by Excel. There's that whole building is just fully involved.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
And some of the big ones I remember from growing up there was the TCF fire downtown Minneapolis.
Thanks.
I
Thanksgiving Day.
worked there.
And that was
What?
cool because
Yeah.
they had been putting it out and it was like below zero. So you had all
Yep.
these like frozen icicles everywhere. It was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then the other one, the homeless people set
The encampment?
the fire at the mills,
Oh, the
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I
the General Mill A building or whatever it was.
check my date, but I think that TC or the bank fire was in November of '78. The Great Thanksgiving Day fire. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
that.
that's right.
Was that the
Yep.
biggest one,
I
or-
remember that.
Was it Sears? I think it was Sears in the
Yep.
Northwest Bank building.
Yep.
Was that the Minnesota's worst fire? Or-
It's right up there.
Right up there?
Yeah.
Yep. My
Hey,
dad.
do you have a campfire at home
Bonfire.
or
The
bonfire?
bonfire, yeah.
You know,
Technical terminology now is recreational fire.
and I hope it's 10 feet away from any buildings, right?
Well, depends
No,
on
it has to be 25 feet.
25
smart ass.
feet in Brooklyn.
You are so in violation, young lady.
I'm fucked.
In California, you have to get permission to burn. Well, you don't have to get permission, but they will say you can't burn because the air's so bad this week. Like, it's
The air's so bad.
yeah,
That's because Patrick was farting.
fire restrictions. Yes,
It's all that smog. you
well,
have out there.
Patrick is not an astronaut, so
yeah, you got that right.
It's all that horrible
rocket
smog you
scientist
have
here.
out there, Patrick.
it's
Yeah.
all the smog. Yeah.
Because he flushed the toilet.
Oh boy, yeah. It flush the toilet and you get that methane that's coming up. It's like, oh God. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, but Bill Engvall, you guys all know Bill Engvall, right? He's that comedian. He says, the differences between being married or first being married and married 20 years is 20 years now. The wife leaves the door open. She drops a load in the toilet and you walk in and you hit that wall of funk. 20 years ago, she'd shut the door. She'd turn the radio on so you don't hear what she's doing.
No, they have spray that you can spray in the toilet.
Oh, yeah. So it smells like
that's how-
potpourri and shit.
Poo,
Perfect.
It's called poopery.
poopery. Yeah.
And you spray it before you spray it.
Spray it before you spray it.
And some wives probably don't use it just to set their husband up. Oh, gotcha.
No. God, no. No.
Gotcha, bitch.
No.
So I wanted to ask you, what was the craziest investigation that you've had to be part of that just was like going you figure it's this way, then it goes that way, then it goes this
And it
way.
wasn't what you expected.
And all of a sudden you're going, what the hell is going on here?
There's, I know I'm not going to answer it the way you want me to, but all of them are like that, to be honest with you, because, when I get called in, okay, I'm looking at a house that's burned down, we had a fire out in Wayzata. The fire chief calls, hey, we got a house fire. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Well, we're not really sure. It's down to the ground. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. So I get out there and there's literally a cement slab where the garage was.
Wow.
With about 3 feet of wall on the back. And the house is literally in the basement. And it's like, okay, I'm looking at this thing and I looked at one of my buddies that showed up with the investigation. I'm like, how the hell are we going to figure this one out?
Where do you start? At least you didn't have some cop walking up going, so what happened here?
So is there a protocol? Where do you start on that?
I typically start with interviews.
Okay.
Okay. And Brett, I have had cops, they just being smart asses. They walk up and go, oh, what happened here? Oh, Mr. Investigator. And I look at them, I go, I got this all figured out. And they look at me like, what? I go, we had a fire. Case closed. I'm out of here.
You take care of the rest.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you take care of the scene. I'm out of here.
See ya. Have a great night. Here, I'll go have a cup of coffee for you now. But no, so typically we'll start with interviews. I mean, so what I do when I get on scene is I do a walk around and I look for anything obvious.
Right.
I look for gas cans, look for, anything that doesn't fit the area. And I document that. I mean, if I see something that's it's worth evidence or worth photographing, I'll put like a little, we call them TPs, but I'll put a little TP by with a number. Then I go talk to the first in crew. What'd you guys see? What'd you guys do?
Mm-hmm.
And then I find the homeowners or talk to command, find out what'd you guys see? What'd you do? Where's the bulk of the fire at? And then I interview people. Between looking at the actual situation, interviewing the first in crews, and the incident commander and the first officer on scene, learning where the heaviest fire involvement is,
Right.
we can pretty much track down the what we call the area of origin.
Mm-hmm.
So then we try to focus our attention in that area. This one in Excelsior, we talked to the homeowners, and they said that they had e-bikes and they purchased batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lithium-ion batteries.
Yeah.
They were in the other side of the house.
Mhm.
The garage was already well involved, and we were able to track back into the garage, find the outlet, find the panel, and then find the remnants of the actual lithium-ion batteries.
Wow.
Mm.
So to be able to prove that that's what caused the fire, insurance company comes in because they've got the money to do it. They sent that stuff out to have it tested, x-ray, do whatever they do.
Mhm.
And it was determined that, yes, they failed.
Mm.
And we determined that's what caused the fire.
Wow.
So, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. There are a couple of fires when you interview people and then you go back and interview them another time, their stories changes and you go like, what the hell?
Mm.
You told me this on this night. Well, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what do you think about spontaneous combustion?
It's legit. It's
Really?
real. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that happens. I mean,
It happens.
I mean, I remember when.
Like, no, with human bodies.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah.
You haven't
People
seen that?
spontaneous.
Like this guy in sitting in a chair, and all of a sudden they show up, and
Yeah.
he's like burnt. The chair's on fire, and he's like fried.
It's one of those conspiracy theory kind of deals. I mean, they have it on like
It's rolling
the
his eyes at me.
like the sci-fi channels and stuff. Look it up. I mean,
Can I
there's
have a
like,
shot, please?
yeah,
You actually need a hit.
here.
Oh,
That's
oh.
empty.
No.
I honestly, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a person just you're on fire.
I've seen.
Well, if you watch the X-Files,
Yeah,
Okay.
know.
Yep.
yeah,
Stacy
true.
knows.
Like,
Stacy
well,
knows I'm not full of shit.
like I said, it's a lot of conspiracy theories with that. And yeah, there was an X-File where they had it, the person starts on fire, but there's been like documentation where, people they say they just started on fire.
Because they shoved a stick of dynamite up.
Probably, and it's like, it's different. Like when we were putting together, staining the bar at JJ Murphy's
Yep.
in Blaine, and we were very careful and ventilated, and you're taking the stain and if you left the cloth crumpled up, it could start on fire, and somebody did, and all of a sudden it started on fire. Just boof. Whoa,
Yeah.
what the?
there were a lot of people that
I mean-
started on fire. Remember that in the Middle East where they did something to the pagers
Oh yeah.
network, and
Oh.
they set them off, and they're
Well, that was
Or something.
Israel, yeah, and they had done this like 5 years earlier, where they sent this to all,
Yeah,
just sent these pagers out to the, the armed forces, the top execs for it, and then they blew limbs and people up.
Wow.
Yeah,
one of the questions I had is how do you know a building is structurally sound enough to go into? Because if it's halfway burnt, you don't know if something's going to collapse or if a floor is going to cave in, or how do you know that? Is there like an assessment that you do?
Yeah. So when we get on scene, we take a look at the type of construction that it is.
Mhm.
A lot of the homes nowadays, you have your legacy style construction, which is the olden days, where they use 2x4s, standard nails, 2x8s, and just structural lumber, pure sheet or not sheetrock, plywood. They don't use the particle boards and stuff like that, because if you think about particle board, what's it being held together by?
Yeah, the glue.
Glue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
glue's-
that's
glue's
flammable.
flammable.
Yep.
So if it's got traditional like plywood,
Especially rubber cement. I did that in art school.
you set your school on fire with rubber cement.
Just the table.
Oh, okay, wow. Brett, let's
I know.
talk about this here, buddy.
I'm sorry.
concerned for your safety. but we look at the type of construction that it has. How long has that fire been burning? And then we do what we call a risk benefit analysis. If this fire is showing signs that it's going to collapse, we don't put anybody inside, because a home can be rebuilt.
But as far as investigation, you got to go in somehow.
true. There are some that we will not go into.
Oh, okay.
If there's like this fire I had last weekend, we didn't go inside at all because the roof was down and walls were leaning.
Mm.
And now we just do our photos. We get as good as photos as we can get.
Mhm.
We do our interviews and we talk to the first aid crews and stuff like that. And that's how we leave it. So until they get a construction crew in there, start to pull the building apart.
Oh,
then we can
you can go back. Oh, I
Yeah,
see. Okay.
right.
So, but houses, if it's not safe for the firefighters to go into,
Sure.
we're not going into it either.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, so-
I mean, and it's like, you guys are the real heroes. I'll admit, because you guys have to go into
You finally admitted
burning
that.
buildings,
And it's on recording. Y'all heard it. Ex-cop
Yeah,
said
yeah.
firemen are heroes.
I mean, you guys go to a scene and you're there for like 10 hours doing stuff. I
don't
go to
wanna-
a scene, I put handcuffs on a guy and I just schlep him off at the jail, and then I'm back out getting donuts and coffee.
Yeah, you don't want to fart in a fire suit.
No. Oh, God, no. No. Why are you saying donuts? I thought you guys get bagels now because it's a cleaner, healthier.
Yeah, I'm Generation X. It's donuts.
Yeah.
It's Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kremes. Well, Todd, thank you for coming on
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
You're
talking
awesome.
about your firefighting days and
Oh.
investigation stuff. It's really good to have you here,
Thank you.
and it's good to see you again. It's been a few years, and
Been a hot minute.
yeah, you've gone on to bigger and better things.
We want to thank
great.
you for your service. We
Oh, thank you.
appreciate
Thank
what
you
you
so
do.
much.
And yep, you guys are awesome.
Well,
Yep.
like I've told you all along, Brett, you're one of my favorites, and I always enjoyed working with you. And when you come into dispatch, we'd always have a good time, and we'd have a good time shooting the shit and giving each other crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope it never ends.
Oh no,
Exactly.
no.
Thanks again. So, folks, if you like the podcast, we can't do it without you. So please hit the share, hit the like, and subscribe button, and we will see you next week with another guest. Take care, folks.